morning. It's the final day in the month of June. That means it's the last day in the first half of this year. We're about to start a new one by tomorrow, less than 24 hours. It's so exciting. We thank God for life and health. You're welcome to Business Morning. It's time to do current and relevant business, and we'll keep doing it to the end of the year, God's grace. You're welcome. I'm Ini John McQuarrie. Well, we'll get right into it with commodities, starting with Chicago corn. It bounced back on Friday, recovering from this week's deep losses on concerns over dry weather in the United States Midwest and positioning ahead of a key U.S. acreage report due later in the day. And the most active corn contracts on the Chicago Board of Trade added 1.5% to $5.36 for half of a bushel. Soybeans gained 1.2% to $12.80 for half a bushel, while wheat rose 1.3% to $6.76 for a quarter of a bushel. And corn has given up a fifth of its value in the first half of this year. Soybeans are down 16% since the first trading day of 2023. Wheat has dropped 14% in January to June period. The most intense drought to hit the United States Midwest Farm Belt since 2012 deepened over the past week, sapping oil moisture and threatening crop yield potential in the heaviest corn and soybean production areas of the United States. Weekly drought monitor data showed 65% of the region in moderate drought or worse as of June the 27th, up 58% a week earlier, and the broadest area since 2012. However, a series of rainstorms forecast over the next 2 weeks in the southern and central Midwest could help stabilize or improve crop conditions that have been eroding for weeks and recharge oil moisture just ahead of the corn crop's critical pollution period in late July. Traders await USDA's quarterly stocks report today, in which analysts expect the government to report smaller June 1st supplies of corn, soybeans, and wheat compared to a year ago. The USDA will also release updated U.S. acreage estimates. Oil prices now is hedged higher on Friday, with Brent poised for its first monthly gain this year as a big drawdown in U.S. oil stocks outweighed concerns that fuel demand will be dented further by more interest rate hikes. Brent crude futures for September delivery rose 16 cents to stand at about $74.67 a barrel. The less traded front month contract, which expires today, was up 30 cents at $74.64. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures gained 8 cents to $69.95 a barrel after settling marginally higher on Thursday. Both benchmarks were on track to climb more than 2.5% for June, while it would be Brent's first monthly gain for 2023. It will mark a second for WTI after a gain in April. And despite a probably monthly gain on a quarterly basis, Brent looks set for a loss of about 6%, with WTI appears headed for a decline of about 7%. Markets are worried about tightening supply after the United States Energy Information Administration said that crude inventories dropped 9.6 million barrels in the week ended June the 23rd, far exceeding the 1.8 million barrel draw analysts had forecast. Meanwhile, U.S. gross domestic products, as their GDP in the first quarter, was revised up to 2% annualized rate from the 1.3% pace reported previously. The strong U.S. economic data and oil stock drawdown comes at a time when Saudi Arabia is planning to further cut output by 1 million barrels per day in July. That's in addition to broader OPEC Plus deal to limit supply in 2024. Russia's seaborne oil export is expected to fall to 1.9 million barrels a day in July from 2.3 million barrels a day in June, as domestic refineries increase runs, which could further tighten global crude oil supply. Also, China is in the news. Manufacturing activity contracted for a third straight month in June, albeit at a slower pace, according to official factory survey. Non-manufacturing activity also fell in June. Still talking oil now, but edible Malaysian palm oil futures rose on Friday, heading for their first monthly jump in 4, underpinned by higher Indonesian export levy and weakening ringgit's currency. The benchmark palm oil contract for September delivery on the Bursa Malaysia Malaysia Derivatives Exchange gained 46 ringgit to 3,801 ringgit. That's about $812 per metric ton during early trade. Now let's come back home here in Nigeria, starting from Lagos, where the state government is saying that it is set to implement the proof of ownership certificate verification introduced by the federal government. This, according to the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, is a new initiative requiring all motorists to pay an annual fee of 1,000 naira.
Officials of the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps in charge of Lagos, and other stakeholders in the transport sector converge on Bagauda Kalto Press Center to announce the implementation of the annual Proof of Ownership certificate recently introduced by the federal government. This is aimed at fast-tracking the real-time status and maintain the integrity of all vehicles registered in the National Vehicle and Identification Scheme database.
The annual POC is specifically printed and is connected with other vehicle documents in the state through the following benefits. I think it has this benefit. Statistic of vehicular population nationwide can easily be obtained. Solution to minimization of car theft and recovery of stolen vehicles that is rampant nowadays. Streamline the constituent of uniform licensing scheme mandated. State motor vehicle documents can easily be verified regardless of the EU state.
The Federal Road Safety Corps in Lagos says it's ready to support the implementation process to enhance the security of the state.
Ours is just to ensure that we carry out the implementation. This is in line with Federal Road Safety Act. It's also in line with our core mandate, that is our vision and mission, which is aimed at to regulate, enforce, and at the same time coordinate all road safety and traffic management through our robust database.
The new Proof of Ownership Certificate initiative will help ensure data harmonization in compliance with legal requirements fundamental to the transparency, security, and accountability within the transportation network.
And be well regulated. There's no airline that will not have airworthiness. You cannot really cut corner. But on
So beginning from tomorrow is first day in July, so we'll see how the Lagos State government wants to implement it. But of course, there are so many questions to ask about that policy that the federal government has introduced. And when you go on Twitter, you see a whole lot of questions and different perspectives shared there. One of these days, we'll talk about that. But now let's talk about something that I believe concerns a whole lot of people, the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, that's AMBAN. The Lagos State chapter has released a unified price list for points of sales, that's POS operations in the state. Uniform fee structure is aimed at addressing the charge disparity currently ongoing since the CBN Naira redesign policy. A task force, they say, has also been set up to ensure the compliance of this among POS operators and encourage compliance to the new fee structure. Let's find out what the fees are and how they hope to enforce this. We know that this has been an issue, you know, since we had that cashless policy or the new Naira note policy. So joining us to talk about this is Mr. Stephen Adeoye. He's the Public Relations Officer of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria for Lagos. So it's Lagos that is doing this. Good morning, Mr. Adeoye. Thank you for your time.
Nice to be here.
I think we understand why we have to have this conversation, because at one time we were using Naira to buy Naira. It was really a sad thing. And then when you talk to a POS operator, they tell you, oh, they also had to buy the Naira for them to be able. Give us an overview of the situation now. Is everything calm now? Do you have enough supply?
Thank you so much. The Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria is the national umbrella body of all those who handle POS, either merchants or bank agents. But it's a pity, as we are trying all our best, there are still some that have not really come to register. And those are the one causing problem. Back then, when we have the cashless, when the cash is so short, where you see somebody collecting 5,000 Naira or 1,000 Naira. But in order to eradicate this, the Lagos State chapter of AMBAN has bring out this policy, this price list. At our fourth symposium held at Airport Hotel, our chairman released it, Pastor David Abiodun, along with the ESCO. The purpose is that some still enjoy it. They still overcharge their customers, and we don't want that. All of us want things to be easier for our customers and the country as a whole. And that is the reason why we bring out this price list. Though, as it was said that day, depending on your area, you can decide to lower it. That is, maybe you have a regular customer or your area, you can still reduce it for your customers. But it should not be more than that.
It shouldn't be more than this list.
The price list, yes.
Okay,
That is why we expect everybody to paste it in their locations. So that as we are coming, maybe you want to beg somebody that, sorry, my dear, it's because I want to buy something for my children. I only have this for these charges. And it's not the normal thing. We are human. Okay, you can assist the person. Not that this is how they are doing it at social market, or this is how they are doing it. And that's the reason for that.
Okay, so give us the price list, because, I mean, as you have said, you have a lot of people who are into this operation who are not registered.
Yes.
So enforcing it on them is going to be kind of difficult, but let's have the list first.
Yes. Before I give you the list, to enforce is easier because we have good relationship with the Lagos State Command, police force, and all the DPOs in the area, so that very soon the task force will be set up in each zones. We have task force in each zone so that they will work along with it. Somebody can just get a POS today and start it, and that is why we said enforcing it. But we'll still get to all of them.
Yeah,
now
but
the prices.
I mean, what's the task force going to do? Are they going to go to any POS they see and say, where is your membership card? Or, you know, how are they going to do that?
Thank you so much. To register, you have your ID card, you have your number, you have your certificate. There was a time. We also have good collaboration with CBN, both in Lagos here and at Abuja. We have meeting. AMBAN is part of the meeting when they have meeting on this financial inclusion. So as a result, it's easier for us. We have zone. In nearly each local government in Lagos State, we have a zone. And where I'm staying, I know the area. So our task force in each zone and each chapter of our association, we locate those who are there. For example, we have our website. At a point, everybody has to register. And now you will see the price list. We also have your number there, where you'll be able to put your number. We also have to do this because some people are also there to cut corners. Somebody can, that is why we discourage having umbrella. CBN also did not do that, did not allow that. Somebody will just say, oh, I want to make money, and just take a table and umbrella to a market. And people will come and do deposits and everything. And after that, the person may also, it may be at Large Depot Market today, tomorrow it may go to my 2 market, next tomorrow, and started to cheat people or swindle them. Now they will say, look at what has happened. This POS people has caused problem. This POS, and this person is not registered. So that is why we discourage umbrella and table, and at the same time, we will enforce this. Because in each zones, we have units, we have ESCOs who know people in the area, and each local government, so they can be able to do that. We know it's not an easy task.
Yeah, because you need a whole lot of human resources to be able to have sufficient task force, and you will be paying them.
Surely, because we are ready for it. We are ready for it. Okay. We have been thinking about spacing and pricing for a long time, so that it will make our work easier, so that people, detractors, will not cause problem for us in this business. Because anybody that handles POS and causes anything is just like when a finger is bad, it affects the rest. So they will feel that, this POS person, maybe the person just come from anywhere and cause problem in Lagos. We have this situation, people will come from Kano and cause problem in any part of the other area. So we want to avoid that. We want to clean our name. And that's why this price list come out. And at the same time, we want to make sure that we sanitize it in line with CBN regulation and other stakeholders. Even the stakeholders also, we are calling them those mobile money operators so that they cooperate with us. Because a mobile money operator will just give POS to anybody. But we know who are our members. And we have information for them so that they will not be duped. In my office, since 2 days ago, somebody did a fraudulent transaction of 101,000. He didn't know. Somebody just come to withdraw, and they learn his account. We are still on it, doing it. And we give them instruction. Do not accept transfer from somebody you do not know, especially when it's higher amount from 10, 20,000. Because of 60,000, your account can be learned, and it will cause problem. So we are on it. So let me give you the...
Exactly.
Because, you know, I'm the image maker, so it's easy for me to talk. So, sorry. So let me now tell you the price list. 1,000 to 2,400 naira for withdrawal. 3,005 to 4,200 naira. 4,001 to 6,004, 300 naira. 6,500 to 7,009, 400 naira. 8,000 to 10,900, 500 naira. 11,000 to 14,000, 600 naira. 14,500 to 17,900, 700 naira. 18,000 to 20,000, 800 naira for withdrawal. Like we said, depending on your location, you can also step it down for people, depending on the circumstances. But it should not go more than this. Then for deposit, 1,000 to 4,900 is 100 naira. 5,000 to 10,900 is 200 naira. 11,000 to 29,000 is 300 naira. 21,000 to 30,900 is 400 naira. 31,000 to 40,000 is 500 naira. 41 to 50,000 naira is 600 naira for deposit, or you call it transfer. But we can still make it because we are humans. But not that somebody will go to market and social market, they do it for me 100 naira. We also want to avoid those who are causing the problem. Because look at data now, look at fuel, the cost of maintenance. So if somebody just gets the money anyhow, because our association also have anti-laundry policies, whereby we don't want to join anybody in that laundry or in any effect. So we are ready to sanitize the market and make sure that our Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents really live out to the purpose. And this time we encourage everybody who is handling POS to come and join our association. And it will be good.
Maybe your duties and fees are too much. That's why people are not eager to come and join you.
No, to tell you the fact, to join the association is just 6,500. 1,000 naira for your certificate, 500 naira for your ID card. And you pay yearly due of 5,000 naira. Yearly due of 5,000 naira, you know that even when you go to any meeting, they have sitting fee. How much more? We are sitting maybe 12 times. If you say 5,000 naira, it's just a small thing. But whereas in some areas, people will come to a location, they will say, pay 20,000 before you come to this complex or before you join this association. And it's throughout Nigeria. 5,000 is what the National ESCO has agreed, that it should not be more than 5,000 naira yearly. 1,000 for your certificate and 500 for the ID card. And when you join, there are many information will be given you. It's a pity people lack information and they run to problem. So we tell them more things so that they can be able to enjoy it. Many of us have enjoyed it through this association, through this work. We are reputable to the extent that we have BVM machine, we can do it for them. We have NI register. We're also partnering with Lagos State in Lastra. There are many things because we are reputable.
All right, thank you so much. You are obviously a PRO, yeah? You have the marketing skills. Mr. Stephen Adeoye, the Public Relations Officer of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria. Thank you for your time. I wish you the best in that enforcement, because that's where the work really lies.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right, now, just before, or as we go on a break now, can tell you that International Breweries PLC is honoring its distributors and customers across the nation to celebrate the long-standing partnership they've had over the years. Always good to appreciate what you have.
These are distributors of a leading beer brand, partners, as a company chooses to call them, coming together in the hall to celebrate them. A good blend of music, camaraderie, relaxed mood, kind of level up the management and its partners. Afterwards, it's time to sit for a formal ceremony where some speeches are made.
The brewing industry is evolving rapidly, and we must continue to embrace the change, seize opportunities, and innovate together. It is essential that we stay ahead of the curve, exploring new markets, leveraging technology, and meeting the evolving needs and expectations of our customers and consumers.
He acknowledges the reasons behind the company's growth and the way forward, a position which is corroborated by his colleague.
Thank you all to our distributors for the assistance, the support that you have given us over many, many years in international breweries.
This is followed by awards and recognitions. And to the entity whose contribution stood out above others, the grand winner.
Being in beer business, there's other companies that are beer business, which you cannot compare with international breweries. You can't. You come in terms of the brewery, the premium brands, Budweiser and Co. You can't compare it anywhere at all. So, but I will still stand with international breweries all the way.
They are a huge part of our business. They're not even our distributors, they are partners. And what they give to us really is the distribution support that we need to get to market for all our brands, our products, and great brands that we have. Hero and Trophy, two of the biggest brands in the country in beer. So they are a significant part of our business. And not only that, they're partners, but they're also friends.
For International Breweries PLC, engaging conversations and the sharing of best practices with distributors fosters a sense of dedication and collaboration.
You're welcome back. Well, Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, is the creation of a single window for all cross-border transactions on the continent. Currently, PAPS network of participating central banks comprises the Central Bank of Nigeria, that's of Ghana, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Djibouti. So it's supposed to work across the continent. But unfortunately, I don't know about the effectiveness of it because this morning, even if you saw the papers, you will see that Nigeria's intra-Africa trade dips. And these are some of the realities where buying things or paying for things outside the continent comes out cheaper than paying for it within the continent. But let's understand more about this with Dr. Bumi Bajamo. She's the head group corporate bank with EcoBank. She joins us virtually from Lagos here, while Mr. Mike Ogbalu, the Chief Executive Officer of PAPS, joins us also virtually from Cairo, Egypt. Good to have you both on the program. That's Mr. Ogbalu there. Thank you so much for your time. All right, so since you were there, let's start off with you. I know that there was a test on PAPS on the continent. Could you bring us up to date on, what's the latest and how successful or not has that test been so far?
Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity to have this conversation. PAPS, an initiative of our Flexing Bank, the AFCFTA, and the AU Commission, launched last year in Accra. And since then, we have connected into central banks, and we've connected into about 60 commercial banks across the countries of presence. Today, we are seeing live trade, especially within the West African region. Participating commercial banks have been able to facilitate live trades across the region. Month on month, we are happy to say that the volumes are growing. It's not where we expect it to be, but the volumes are growing, and we're beginning to see real-life impact of PAPS, especially at the lower levels, the SMEs and the small business people.
We have both Zimbabwe and Zambia who are in the process of going live. And more importantly, we've also now done a model which allows us to scale much faster, working with large Pan-African banks. So we are happy with the progress that we've made. We're beginning to see that impact down to the very traders that we want to support. We've been able to lower significantly the cost of doing these transactions. And we have also brought to the market a system that is instant. So once you initiate a transaction out of Nigeria to Kenya, in Nigerian Naira, it arrives in Nairobi, Kenya, in Kenyan shillings in no more than 120 seconds.
So let's bring in Dr. Bumi now. She's also involved in this test. Dr. Bumi, could you bring us up to date on some of the weaknesses so far? Because we still have reduced number of intra-Africa trades. And I want to believe that one of the causes of that is the payment system. Dr. Bumi, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you. Please, can you just come again? I lost you momentarily.
Okay, so I was asking some of the weaknesses you have discovered in the process of this test, the test that has been going on with POS.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, yes, so like Mike said, the test has happened essentially around the West Africa monetary zone, all the 6 countries in West Africa. In terms of the challenges that we've seen, is that some countries have fared better than the other. Like I work for EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. We are present in 33 countries. So meaning that from the get-go, we're able to connect our over 39 million clients at a go onto the POS platform. But what you've seen is that even though we are able to connect over 39 million clients at a go, it depends on the participating country and the participating institution. So that if you originated a transaction out of Ghana and you are paying somebody in Mali, even if I am compliant on the POS platform, it depends on the host central bank and the host suppliers bank. If the bank is not on the platform, it means no trade can take place. So that is essential, and we've been working in conjunction with POS to make sure this is streamlined. So as of today, I will tell you from where we sit as a Pan-African bank, we've gone fully live out of Liberia, meaning that any client in Liberia can transact business just from the comfort of their computer, using their card or using any of the bank's payment platform. But we've gone live also in Ghana, principally. By 7th of July, we will be able to transact transaction out of Ghana. By mid-July, Nigeria will be fully live. I know some other institutions have gone live in different countries. So what the challenges you've seen is that it depends on the drive of the financial institution. As you know, at the start of the this PAP initiative in 2022, it was supposed to be a central bank-led settlement scheme, but based on the feedback and experiences across countries, is now a commercial bank-led platform. So what's even though that is good because it accelerates the flow of payments across countries that are compliant, that are being onboarded across central bank, and all of the over 28 commercial banks that have now signed on to the platform. But what is important now for the POS network, and I'm happy my brother Mike is here, is to actually dimension how many banks can be settlement institutions. Do we want to take almost all the commercial banks that are willing to be settlement bank, or we want to go the Pan-African route such that you have a few selected Pan-African institutions? If we bring our 33 platform payment platform, which have already been deployed to over 39 million countries, you have banks like KCB in Kenya. You also have some Pan-African like bank across North Africa and all the other zones. If you bring all of them holistically at once, it means by dealing with about 6 settlement banks, you essentially cover 54 or 55 countries in Africa. But when you decide to go with all of the commercial banks, it means each one has to open nostro accounts, be the backbone for settlement, provide the foreign currency for settlement, it might create a convoluted situation. So I think that is something that the PAPS team, working in conjunction with all of the bank, EcoBank principally, because we've been with the PAP team from the get-go, and we've been in this together, because if we're able to solve this problem across Africa, if Africa can trade, if we're able to grow intra-African trade by over 81% as we have planned to do, it means that we leapfrog Africa from the dependence on third country currencies, over 42 currencies currently in Africa right now. It means we can streamline it, have a single platform, have a common trade platform for one Africa, delivering value to over 1.3 billion population, and driving the projected turnover of $3.5 trillion.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bumi. Now, let me ask Mr. Ogbalu, how much of this is dependent or is hindered by infrastructural development on the continent?
So, yes, thanks. When you look at trade on the continent, we have taken the view that the most critical element is dealing with the payment infrastructure. What we've also done is to say, okay, we'll partner with a number of development partners and be able to assess the infrastructure that we have in each country as it relates to payments, and be able to support those countries to be able to meet up with the minimum requirements. But today, I think when you look at trade, you're looking beyond just payments. Yes, payment is critical and it's a trigger for trade. There are other trade-enabling infrastructure that needs to be in place. And at Afrexim Bank has been intervening in many markets to be able to help them set up this trade-enabling infrastructure. But from our point of view, just by improving payments, we can actually see an acceleration of trade on the continent. So what we are doing today is reaching out and just going back to Bumi's point, we've identified that there are some critical institutions across the continent that are critical in provision of financial services across the continent, and we decided to partner with them. However, we want to be able to say that we will partner with as many institutions as are interested in connecting into our infrastructure, but we would like these big Pan-African institutions to take the lead. And that's why in the last annual general meeting of the Afrexim Bank, we signed an MOU with EcoBank, with UBA, with Access Bank, KCB, and Standard Bank of South Africa, and it's been phenomenal working with them. We believe just by partnering together that we can expand the reach of PAPS within the next 6 months to more than 20 countries. And actually, by Q1 of 2024, we expect to be heading very close to 40 countries where PAPS will be. Now, by having this large network, we are able to take this value that we've created, because until we're able to take this value to the small shoemaker who is in Aba, who wants to sell his shoes in Kampala, Uganda, and not worry about how that transaction is settled. And because the transaction is settled very quickly, it means that he has more time to actually focus on trading his wares than confirming payments and waiting to receive his payment. So payment is a critical infrastructure for trade, but there are other infrastructure. I'm working with a number of development partners who are working with states to see how we can support them to put those infrastructure in place.
Yeah, we really do hope there'll be more success and implementation, as Dr. Bumi said. By mid-July, we will see also Nigeria go live, and we look forward to all of that. I have to thank you both. The Chief Executive Officer, PAPS, Mr. Mike Ogbalu, joins us from Cairo, while Dr. Bumi Bajomo, the head group corporate bank with EcoBank, joins us virtually from Lagos. Thank you so much for your time, and we do hope to get updates on this real soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's do a little bit of beauty business. Manufacturers of Nivea range of skincare products, they said they've been doing a research for about 7 years now, and they have the results. Perhaps it's something you would like to use. It's an exciting moment for Beiersdorf Nigeria and its partners as they celebrate what they call a breakthrough in skincare innovation, first in West Africa and Nigeria. As the maker puts it, Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care and even Glow variants are the outcomes of over 5 years of research about the unique African skin called melanin.
We know that this product that we have just launched in the market now, in 2 weeks, reduces the appearance of stretch marks, and this NAFDAC has validated that's actually true. Because of the sunshine that we have here, which we have to be happy about, we know also to be exposed to excesses of it, then you have pigmentation. So you have some dark marks or dark spots all around. This product in 2 weeks takes care of those dark marks and gives you an even blended skin.
We've pegged this product at a 3,500 naira to a 400 ml bottle. I mean, you would attest to it that if you have to buy this ingredient separately, like a lot of women do, and have to put it together, it will cost significantly more. But what we're doing is giving you convenience while giving you a quality product that will help you deliver on your perfect and beautiful skin.
The gathering goes beyond unveiling an amazing products range, but also to celebrate the different shades of beauty as presented by these black beauties. In many ways, the launch of the Nivea Radiant and Beauty range feels like getting asked to dance to what adds to skin beauty, confidence, and sense of identity.
We need to ensure that ingredients are more natural. So that's why you see we are moving into 5 natural oils: avocado, almond oil, macadamia, and also moving into things like turmeric and so on.
For Nivea, research and development are continuum. The company says it will continue to engage its consumers to find out their skin needs and come up with insights to help direct research to address challenges in their skin care routine. From beauty business to money business, that's what Aniti has to update us with as he walks into the...
Good morning, Inni.
Good morning.
And thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, well...
And the last day for June.
Exactly. The last day of the first half of the year.
And the quarter, as well as the month and the week. Very
wow, a lot of things.
So now we're still within the markets. It's the first trading day from
after 2 days break.
After that 2-day long break for some people, we were here. And then, of course, we're still looking at the market, still in the green. And then, of course, we'll be talking more about the market. It may be this, the new levels at which it touched about 15 years ago. If it's going to be, it may be the fear of that, the last bubble that we had. But we'll be talking to our analysts to give us more details about that.
All right.
Okay, so this is where we're reviewing the market, which has gone to about 17.28% year-to-date gain. Here at the market for Tuesday's closing figure, it was 1.30% up, which is about 421 billion naira added. And then, of course, for the market's benchmark indicator of stocks performance, it has crossed the 60,000 level, a level we last saw sometime in 2008. And that's because what you call either Tinubunomics or the Batonomics, that's what has raised investors' preference for stocks and then rallied the market to that level. We also saw that according to the figures that we have, if you take a look at the sectoral performance, we saw that the banking sector, as well as the oil and gas, they've taken the biggest lead so far, and they've had their best performance so far within this month, as well as the quarter, and multi-year highs. Take a look at the board there. Banking counter, 3.50%. Oil and gas counter also above that 3%, while the rest also in the green, but by smaller margins of less than 0.25%. Now, looking at the activity chart, we saw that the activity chart, it had a bit of a mixed picture there. We saw a slight decline on the volume of transactions in contrast to what you had on Monday, but then we'll be looking at how it turns out for the market today. So that's it for that market. And then let's take a look at the fixed income market. We also saw that the fixed income market had a bit of a mixed picture there. We saw some bearish performance across the treasury bills market as well as the bonds market, not to mention the central bank and the OMO auction for the market. Now, let's talk to Tajuddin Olayinka. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Wyoming Capital and Partners, to give us more details about the last trading day of the month and the first half of the year. So, Tajuddin, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Anita.
I'm sure you're very excited that the market has risen to about above the 60,000 level. And of course, this is what you brokers, you've been in the market for a very long time now. The market has gone to that 60,000 level, but for the market capitalization, it's at a level which we haven't seen so far. So can you tell us more, just review the market's outlook, the market's performance for this year, for the first half, and what to look out for in the second half of 2023?
Thank you, Anita. I think what market has demonstrated just to show to the whole world, what you already understand to be the barometer of the economy. Stock market has always been the barometer of the economy. And so once you see a policy thrust that is actually in the right direction, that is going to propel activities in the economy, of course, automatically, market will be the first to respond, sector by sector. So the different sectors will respond according to their capacity to also benefit from that, reform. And so what we are seeing is actually performance, that has been induced by a policy thrust of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talking about exchange rate unification, talking about subsidy reform. In fact, just talking about subsidy removal from all facets of business, all products that you can think of. We are talking about subsidy removal from PMS. We are also talking about subsidy removal from FX. So when you see all those things, and of course, that's also a signal that we are going to witness a total deregulation of the economy. And so when you see a policy thrust in that direction, stock market is always the first to react, and that's what we are seeing today.
Okay, so Tajuddin, one more question, just about 60 seconds. I would ask, we've been talking about this forex unification, which at the money market we saw that the impact, the naira had strengthened by about 0.7% to 763 naira at the INE window, and then closed at 770 naira at the BDC rate. So what is this impact? Is it really benefiting investors in the equities market? Can you tell us more about this?
Yes, it is benefiting them. Let me tell you that, even though we have two major foreign investors that we normally consider, foreign direct investors and foreign portfolio investors, even within the foreign portfolio investors realm, we have local investors that have, that invest globally. They act locally but invest globally. And so these investors take advantage of profitable moments in their local economy and repatriate their funds into the economy from abroad. So that's one category. And I think that category is actually benefiting from this exchange rate unification. When you move from 460 something to about 750 or 760, of course that's a bounty harvest. And of course you are now investing in naira against a predictable exchange rate movement. And so that is what we are seeing. Of course, the foreign portfolio investors, the normal foreign portfolio investors that we know, we also come in. But most of the people you are seeing now are largely local investors that have offshore assets, that are not bringing into the economy to invest locally to benefit from the profitable moment. So it's actually benefiting the market. Even if you look at the level of the issuers, the companies listed on the exchange, they are going to benefit. Most of them will benefit because don't forget, we say in the equity market, companies are expected to adjust to variability of cost and cost pressures in the short run to be able to stay afloat. And so market is also taking a bet on the fact that most of these listed companies or public companies, so to say, will be able to adjust to variability of cost and cost pressures you are seeing in the market, or you are seeing in the economic space at this moment, so that they can remain afloat and be able to make profit and make their shareholders smile. So that's what you are saying, and that's why you are not seeing such movement in the fixed income market. Equity market is a market for for variability of income. And so, because of the fact that incomes and earnings prospects look much brighter, so of course you see investors come into that space and take advantage. That's what you are seeing there, and that's why you are not seeing significant movement in the fixed income market.
Oh, okay. So thank you so much. We will leave it there for that market, for the equities market, and of course we thank you for your analysis. Well said. That was Tajuddin Olayinka, Chief Executive Officer of Wyoming Capital and Partners, giving us details about the market, what to expect, and of course, we always tell our investors, take caution. It's not you take caution, and then you also take advice from your financial advisors, stockbrokers, for your investment decision. So we were talking about the fixed income markets. For the fixed income market, we will be expecting that today we would have the primary market auction, which was initially to hold on Wednesday, but was shifted due to the public holiday, the Muslim Eid holiday. So we'll be expecting that to happen. And next week, we also expect that the market would be on the upside, but it may have some impact if the profit takers decided to take profit. So that's it for the market, and we'll be looking out for how July starts off the second half.
We'll look out for how June ends up first, because, I mean, we're still trading now. We'll see it at the close of trade today.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Anita.
Pleasure.
All right, now let's head to the crypto market and see what's happening there, see what the color is. And even though Ladi is not here, he leaves me safe in your hands. Well, from neutral yesterday, we see that the market is greedy, so it's a positive movement that it did just within 24 hours. That's why we see the color has changed. It's more of green now. Bitcoin is green. It's up more than 1.5%. Still sustaining this 30,000. I bet a lot of people did not think that Bitcoin would sustain the 30,000 this long. Thought there would be a pullback, now profit taking and all of that, but it's still sustaining that. Ethereum looks even better with more than 2% increase, now 1,877.92. So we do still have a bit of those red USDT. These are the stable coins. So you know that investors have more empowered, to get into real trading. So that's why we see more movement here and less here. So it's more of green, not a typical Friday, because most of the time on a typical Friday it's mostly red. Now let's see the prices there for this morning. This was earlier this morning. We already saw that price there up, and then we said Ethereum also up. BNB, Cardano, and XRP. Now let's have Olumide Adesina come to share with us his thoughts and observations for the month of June as the month comes to an end today. Hi Olumide, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. So what's your general overview for the month of June?
I think it's been an exciting bullish run, particularly looking at the inflow of institutional investors led by BlackRock. Now we're having Fidelity. These are trillion-dollar asset managers. We're applying for spot Bitcoin ETF. That's really triggered much inflows. And that's why, just like you rightly reiterated, we've not been able to see Bitcoin dropping below the $13,000 in the past few days. So it really tells you that institutional investors are betting long on the asset class, and that has really helped Bitcoin to post a green month. But I think it's been a very sound first half for the crypto market, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bookmakers will tell you that if you invested 10 million naira in the month of January in the Bitcoin market, you made at least 8 million naira. And considering the valuation and now inflation, you've even outperformed many stock assets in the NGX. So I think that has really triggered much more participation among Nigerians, despite the fact that we've seen the unification of the Naira. So we're still seeing much more interest, and that's really why the crypto market seems to be exciting.
Exciting, but we also have that issue with the United States Binance. That also had a huge impact on trading and prices this month.
Yeah, it did. Regulatory concerns, definitely. At some point, we saw, I think altcoins were badly hit, particularly those that had significant exposure, like with exchanges like PNB. And, you know, some coins were delisted on Robinhood. And recently, Revolut also announced the delisting of Solana, Polygon, and Cardano. So definitely that had negative impact on altcoins generally. But, you know, one has to understand the narrative that the industry is evolving and that we're seeing players hitting back at regulators. Coinbase, a few days ago, filed a case against the Securities Exchange Commission saying that they don't have such rights to restrict or ban or classify some assets as security. So we're seeing how that will play out. But, you know, you could still look at the positivity. These coins are recovering. You see all the coins being tagged as securities, posting gains of more than 4% today, telling you that investors are still shrugging it off, and the market seems to be keeping to Bitcoin's momentum.
Yeah, still in that line, now Blockchain Association is joining Bitcoin against, you know, that crypto crackdown. How do you see this ending? I mean, it sounds like a new battle line has just been drawn again.
Yeah, but I think, you know, one asset class that seems to be very resilient against all of this Bitcoin, you know. So usually bookmakers will put the bet on Bitcoin. And it's really very difficult for you to really hurt that asset class because it doesn't really have a central authority. There is no jurisdiction and it's not controlled by one entity. So I think it makes it very difficult to really tame. And that's interestingly where you see powerful entities in the financial space holding on that asset. So I think that's about to happen. But, you know, over time, long run, we're going to see clearer outlines. And, you know, the United Kingdom also passed regulation on stable coins and crypto market. It got assented by King Charles yesterday. That also created some form of clarity. So
okay, seems we have lost him there. But obviously these factors will also lead sentiment in the second half of the year because this is unfinished business and it's not just going to go away. This thing with SEC and what's going on in the UK. And remember, there was also the thing about Binance Nigeria, which obviously was not a registered or recognized company. But these are the factors that we believe will also, you know, wrap up the sentiment of crypto investors and all of that price actions for the second half of the year. So just before we go, let's see the top gainers and losers. There you have the Carnation. Is cow. Imagine if you had put some money in Carnation just less than 24 hours ago, your money would have been more than 300% up. So it's one of those coins that are not up there, but they just had that move. That was a great move there, more than 300%. Compound also, but not as juicy as Carnation at 44% more, and XEC also up. We see Bitcoin Cash up about 30%, and also then as well. So let's look at the top losers for the day. There you have it. It's the green market, so you expect that the numbers will be lean when you're talking of the top losers. So you just see, you know, they're even less than 1%. This is really minimal there at PX down there, and that's DAI. So it's a green crypto market, at least for now. We don't know how long it will stay. Profit takers will jump on and make the most of these gains, or if it will be sustained. But I mean, talk to your financial advisor and they'll tell you what to do about this. But that's it on the program. Thank you so much. It's been a very topsy-turvy week. A holiday, no holiday. Eating of the ram, not eating of the ram, but we are always here doing business with you and for you, talking about current and relevant business conversations. I hope it's been worth your time this week. We will do it again tomorrow. And next week, I beg your pardon, Gosby. But tomorrow, Laddie Williams will be here to give you a summary of the market, the shortened market week at 7 p.m. That will be a capital market. I'll be back at 1:30. By then, I know there'll be updates from the world of business, so I'll give that to you at 1:30 later on today. Join me then. I'm Ini John Mekwa.